You see, the world around us is in a constant state of change. It's like a river flowing, moving, shifting, never static. And yet we often look at life as though it should be stable, predictable, and controlled. But, my friends, control is an illusion. It's only in the flow that we truly live, that we are truly free. Now, as we sit in this moment of reflection, we must remember that smart women understand this fundamental truth. They know the importance of moving with the flow of life, not against it. They understand that their true power lies in their adaptability, their intuition, and their connection to the moment. So let me share with you 4 essential rules that smart women live by. These are not rules in the conventional sense, but rather guiding principles like the wind in the trees, gently nudging them towards their highest potential. The first rule: trust yourself, but don't take yourself too seriously. This might sound paradoxical, but it's not. You see, to trust yourself means to align with your own inner wisdom, to listen to that quiet voice within that tells you what is right for you. But here's the key: don't become too attached to that voice. Don't mistake it for your ego. The ego will tell you stories, create identities, and fuel your desire for validation. But true wisdom, the wisdom of the universe, is free from attachment. It's flowing like water, ready to adapt and change with the circumstances. Smart women trust themselves, yes, but they remain open to new ideas, to criticism, and to growth. They don't cling to any one identity, for they understand that they are constantly evolving. The second rule: live fully in the present. Now, this one is simple but profound. Too often we live in the past, haunted by regrets and what-ifs, or in the future, consumed with anxiety about what may come. But a smart woman knows that neither the past nor the future exist except in the mind. The present is all we have. The present moment is where life happens. It's where creativity arises, where love is felt, and where peace is found. A smart woman knows that her energy is best spent in the here and now. She doesn't waste time worrying about things that are out of her control. Instead, she takes each moment as it comes, embracing it fully with all of its imperfections. The third rule: embrace vulnerability as a strength, not a weakness. In our society, we've been conditioned to believe that vulnerability is something to be avoided. We are taught to be strong, to hide our emotions, to protect ourselves. But here's the truth: vulnerability is the doorway to connection, to authenticity, to real strength. A smart woman knows that in her vulnerability lies her power. By allowing herself to be seen, to feel deeply, she opens the door to greater intimacy with herself and others. She understands that it is through vulnerability that we learn, that we grow, and that we experience the full spectrum of life. Vulnerability is the courage to be imperfect, to embrace our humanity. The fourth rule: let go of control and trust the universe. Now, I know this one can be hard to swallow. We all want control, don't we? We want to make things happen, shape the world in our image. But here's the great paradox: the more you try to control, the more elusive control becomes. Control is a product of fear of losing what we think we have, fear of the unknown. But the smart woman, the truly wise woman, knows that the universe, the flow of life, is far more intelligent than any one individual. When she lets go of her need to control, she becomes part of something greater, something more expansive. She trusts that life will unfold as it should, and in that trust she finds freedom. She surrenders to the process, not in defeat, but in faith. You see, these 4 rules are not separate from each other, they are interconnected. When you trust yourself, you become present. When you live in the moment, you become vulnerable. And when you embrace vulnerability, you stop trying to control everything. This is the dance of life, a dance that requires surrender, wisdom, and grace. A smart woman understands that life is not about accumulating things or status. It's not about winning in the conventional sense. It's about learning, growing, and flowing with the currents of existence. She knows that true power comes not from effort, but from surrender to the wisdom of the universe and the beauty of the present moment. So as you go through your day, remember these 4 principles. Trust yourself, live in the present, embrace vulnerability, and let go of control. You see, in the grand scheme of things, all we are is a wave on the ocean, moving, flowing, rising and falling. But the wave knows that it is part of something much greater, an ocean that is ever present, ever wise, and ever loving. And when a woman rises after every fall, she is in truth just like the wave, flowing, learning, and becoming each time a little more herself, a little more in tune with the rhythm of life. Self-trust is the foundation of personal growth, especially for women navigating the complexities of life. It's the internal compass that guides us, ensuring that every decision made is rooted in confidence and authenticity. In a world that often tries to define us through external expectations, the power of self-trust allows us to find our own path. It's not simply about believing in our abilities, but about trusting our intuition, instincts, and decisions, regardless of the noise around us. You see, self-trust is not something that is given to us by others, nor is it a trait that can be easily earned through accomplishments alone. It's something that develops from within over time through trial, error, and a deep understanding of our own values. It's the quiet assurance that even when the external world is chaotic, we can trust our inner knowing. It's about having the courage to make decisions that feel right for us, even when they might not make sense to others or when the outcome is uncertain. When you trust yourself, you open the door to boundless freedom. You free yourself from the chains of self-doubt and comparison, stepping into your own power. This trust allows you to take risks and make mistakes, knowing that each experience, whether a success or a failure, is part of the larger journey of self-discovery. Self-trust means not berating yourself when things don't go as planned. Instead, it means understanding that mistakes are not indicators of failure, but opportunities to learn and refine. Furthermore, self-trust is not about rigid control over life's events. It's about fluidity and adaptability. It's about trusting yourself to move with the flow of life, to adjust and recalibrate, without losing sight of your internal compass. Women who embrace this form of trust do not seek perfection, they seek authenticity. They trust their instincts, even when the path ahead seems unclear, because they know that their inner wisdom will lead them to where they need to go. Ultimately, self-trust is not a destination, but a continual practice. It's an act of faith in yourself and your journey. When you trust yourself, you create the space to show up as the fullest, truest version of who you are. The second rule for smart women is embracing resilience, which is the ability to bounce back stronger after life's inevitable challenges. Resilience is not just about enduring tough times, but using those experiences to grow, learn, and evolve. It's about developing the emotional and mental fortitude to handle setbacks and emerge wiser, more compassionate, and more determined. Resilience is the backbone of every woman who has ever faced adversity and come out on the other side with her spirit intact. It's about not letting the hardships of life define you, but allowing them to refine you. Life, as we know, is unpredictable and often throws us curveballs, be it personal, professional, or health-related challenges. But the key to resilience is not avoiding the fall, but learning how to rise each time we do. It's important to note that resilience doesn't mean suppressing our emotions or pretending that everything is fine when it's not. Real resilience is about acknowledging your pain, your fears, and your struggles while still choosing to move forward. It is about being vulnerable enough to admit that you don't have all the answers, but still showing up with courage. Resilience allows you to face your weaknesses head-on, understanding that they are not flaws, but aspects of you that, when acknowledged, can lead to great strength. A resilient woman knows that life's challenges are temporary and that even in the darkest times, there is always a way to rebuild and transform. She understands that setbacks are simply detours on the road to success. When things don't go as planned, resilience allows her to pivot, adapt, and come up with new strategies. It's the strength to keep going, even when the journey seems daunting. Moreover, resilience is about developing a mindset that allows you to view challenges as opportunities. It's the ability to find meaning and growth in adversity. A resilient woman doesn't see herself as a victim of circumstances, but as a participant in her own story, empowered to take action and shape her destiny. She learns from every experience, good or bad, and uses those lessons to become a better version of herself. Resilience is also deeply connected to self-compassion. It's about being kind to yourself during hard times, treating yourself with the same care and understanding that you would extend to a loved one. It's recognizing that growth is a process, and you do not need to have it all together right now. By embracing resilience, a woman learns to trust that no matter what comes her way, she has the strength and ability to persevere and thrive. The third rule for smart women is embracing self-awareness. To be truly intelligent, a woman must first know herself, her values, her strengths, her weaknesses, her desires, and her limits. Self-awareness is the foundation upon which all other personal growth is built, because without understanding who we are, we cannot fully navigate the world around us with intention and purpose. Self-awareness is not about having a perfect or flawless image of oneself, but rather an honest and compassionate understanding of both the light and shadow within. It's the ability to reflect on your thoughts, emotions, and actions and understand how they influence the way you interact with the world. It's the art of pausing before reacting, of choosing how you engage with situations, and of taking responsibility for your actions and decisions. A woman who is self-aware understands her emotional triggers. She knows what makes her angry, what makes her happy, what brings her peace, and what stirs her anxiety. With this knowledge, she can navigate difficult conversations and challenging situations with grace. She can choose how to respond rather than react impulsively. She recognizes when she is being influenced by her ego or fears and can separate those from her true self. Self-awareness also means recognizing the areas of your life where you need growth. A smart woman who embraces self-awareness isn't afraid to admit that she has room to improve. She doesn't hide from her flaws or weaknesses, but instead approaches them with curiosity and a desire for growth. She knows that perfection is an illusion, and that every imperfection is an opportunity to learn more about herself and the world around her. Equally important is understanding your values. A self-aware woman knows what truly matters to her, whether it's family, integrity, personal freedom, or creativity, and she aligns her actions with those values. When faced with difficult decisions, her values act as a compass, guiding her choices and giving her the strength to stand by them even when it's not easy. Self-awareness also involves recognizing when it's time to step back and take care of yourself. A woman who is in tune with her needs understands that sometimes she must set boundaries and say no to things that don't align with her well-being. She knows that she cannot pour from an empty cup, and that her health, physical, emotional, and mental, is paramount. Ultimately, self-awareness leads to empowerment. It gives a woman the clarity and confidence to navigate her life on her own terms. She knows who she is, what she stands for, and what she wants to achieve. This understanding allows her to make decisions that are aligned with her true self, rather than being swayed by external pressures or the expectations of others. With self-awareness, a woman is fully equipped to live a life of authenticity, purpose, and fulfillment.